38-9. 38-9. Old Phil Vaughn, you know, he thinks he knows everything. He picked Illinois last week.
Really?
I can't take it anymore. I turned the hat around. I got the X on the back of the jacket, the Stellar Show. What are we going to do here?
I really got to deal with this today.
Look at this.
It's bad enough I agreed to dress like this, and now I got to put up with this too.
Mild Thing. You make my butt sting. You make everything embarrassing.
You know what?
Mild Thing, we detest you.
If we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. I'll be back.
So what are you looking for? Your Terminator, Phil Vaughn. Looking for the Terminator. Maybe Duke has it.
Hey, Lord Mouth.
The bad seed is back. Yes. Mild Thing. Wild Thing. Ricky, where have you been? Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn, forgive me for everything I've done. Welcome to the Stellar Show, episode 42, broadcasting live to you from the Uniontown Mall, inside my store, the Stellar Collectible Shop, with the Duke
and some
Ricky
guy.
Philibom. We're dressed up for Halloween this week. As you'll notice, the colors probably will change as we're going through this. We're giving you a little bit of a Halloween feel. Don't forget, Connellsville House of Horrors.
One more weekend.
School of Terror. I was close on that as well. Is going on. What's going on with you, Ricky?
Well, let's get the most important thing out of the way, and that is Mike Kelly Auto here in Uniontown. Mike Kelly Toyota, that is. It's about trust. With a wide range of vehicles and personalized services, we make your car buying experience easy and enjoyable. Come see why generations have chosen us for their automotive needs. So what's going on, man?
Well, one of the things with the Mike Kelly Toyota, we have confirmed that we're going to get a little bit of help with the picks coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Clearly we could use it.
We got a couple of the salesmen down at Mike Kelly that are going to try to take us on. Take on the two geniuses here. The guy who picked Illinois to... cover? Was it cover or was it I went outright?
You know what?
I'm just rubbing salt in the wound.
I'm just glad Penn State won. Everything after that, it's just whatever. So speaking of which, Bo Pribula.
Wow.
You know what? A lot of us saw that have been following Penn State closely. We saw that coming. Boy, you know what? Drew Aller, for someone with a knee injury, he was moving around pretty good on that sideline.
He could have tweaked it. He could have got scared. The offense did look different, but again, I warn you, when you don't have film on a quarterback, things are really hard on the defensive side.
Especially
I say that
ones.
Consistently. Pribula's a great quarterback. I see all the talent in the world. But the one thing I want to do is harken back to about show 28 when we went up to Penn State. That offense they showed that day is nothing. They fooled even hardened fans like us to think that offense was going to be a typical Big Ten boring offense. That might be the most exciting football that you can watch right now, including pro. Penn State's offense is option crazy.
Maybe Franklin's finally figured it out, but we got to get through Ohio State. It's just.
I will give you a little inside Stellar baseball right now. This guy is he's towing the line. There's no optimism where I am. I'm the one who has the optimism at this point. I'm probably the one who's going to be brokenhearted.
You're talking to the guy that, 2018, Penn State's up 2 scores with 6.5 minutes left in the game. And I'm like, Franklin's finally over the hump. They're finally going to do it. And then everybody remembers that game well, and I still hear from people that sit around me about it. So
the Rose Bowl's another one back with Juju, and that was a tough one to swallow. They were up big in that game too.
But you know what? Maybe we can get some help just in case Joe Boo Serrano shows up. I brought Joe Boo from home.
The great Joe Boo.
Yeah, this is it.
Hopefully, Joe Boo, you can't hit curveball. Fastball you hit well. On your picks, you might be able to do better on the over and under than the games itself.
I'll say this, Franklin is finally showing his marbles.
He's got big ones right now.
Well, we're going to end on that note.
That's a good one.
My name's Tim Fisher. I'm the manager here at Frank Lloyd Wright's Kentuck Knob. I wanted to invite everyone to visit us on our Friends and Neighbors Day. It's November 24th. It's a free event for everyone in Fayette County to come and experience Kentuck Knob. We want people to come and explore the house, explore the grounds, really experience what we have to offer here, and as a way to just thank everyone in the community for being just such great friends and neighbors. So come and see us on Sunday, November 24th. It's a free event. Give us a call at 724-329-1901 and make your reservation. And we can't wait to see you and welcome you to Kentuck Knob.
Welcome back to the Stellar Show, Fayette County TV, Channel 77, Q-Call and Breeze Line with myself, Ken Philibon, the Duke, and Stellar's Collectible Shop and Uniontown Mall owner, Victor Malik.
Wow, you brought it all back together. That first one was a little rough. I had to fill in.
Yes,
what was
sir.
that shot?
It was supposed to be the tetanus shot, but I'm curious.
Bad?
We'll see. Anyway.
Mild things down.
Yeah. Well, we're warming up. Hey,
That's as far as I want to go with that conversation right
yeah,
now.
right. I think we might be violating HIPAA. Calm down, bud. All right, so we always open some wax in this segment here. We're going to open, this is the last time we're going to open one of these Halloweens. We're going to do the Monster Mash one more time here. It's only 3 cards in these. You got like, what was it, 30 packs for like $20 or something. But these were fun. But
Can't even see it without the glasses
Oh, okay.
on. Montez Sweat.
That's a good one.
Jaden Reed has not been heard of much this year.
Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors, yes.
It's not a bad one overall. But, okay, Caden, have some fun with those.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors came out the first part of the season as the Rookie of the Year, but right now, after what happened in, in Washington last night with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, right.
Why don't teams just drop someone back like that all the time? Just someone designated catch the tip.
I don't know.
It makes too much sense, and
Yeah.
it worked really well last night. That's who the Steelers have coming out of the bye.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. Commanders or football team or Washington, whatever.
I got a lot of nerve, Vaughn, talking with the tribe stuff all over us today about the Commanders. It's
I'm just trying to keep track.
Still the Indians.
I'm still trying to keep track of what day of the week it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of those hardcore, old-fashioned guys who really don't believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks are real teams.
It's because they don't. They never existed.
That's
You just
my
made it
point.
up in your head.
There you go. What you got here?
Speaking of Steelers here and whoever they play in 2 weeks, yeah, you have these for sale up here. Pick these up from our good friend, Mean Dean.
Thanks again, Dean. These are cups that hung on to cup holders that hung onto the seats.
Get those price tags off there.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, these are wonderful pieces of the stadium when it was Heinz Field. It still is Heinz Field.
Acrisure Stadium.
Heinz Field.
No,
Cleveland Indians, Washington Redskins.
I'm going to embarrass you on this one. So, Acrisure Stadium. Acrisure just dumped all kinds of money into the city of Pittsburgh.
Did they?
Yes. Well, they gave the Steelers $150 million. So then on top of that, Heinz Ketchup currently is owned by the owner of the New England Patriots, and they moved most of their jobs to the city of Cleveland. Yeah, so what's the name of that stadium again? Thank you.
So Heinz is totally pulled out.
No,
sold out to
they got bought out.
the evil empire.
Yes, sir.
The Patriots.
But you know what? In all seriousness, these are fun. I know. I actually in the Ken Cave, I screwed one of these on each end of the couch.
You put them on a bar and as well.
Yeah. And plus they're from the stadium.
These have been almost historically a part of this store at every holiday season. So as long as you can keep finding these, people buy these as great gifts for Christmas, which is coming up.
Yes, sir.
We're almost done with Halloween.
But so check this out. So we're gonna have some fun here.
I'll move these.
A combination of mail/wax day. So we have been talking about the 86-87 Fleer Jersey Fusion. We were gonna open a pack on the air. All right. Well, I called an audible on that. Those packs were $225 each.
Wow.
All right. And look, everybody's chasing the Jordan, a Magic autograph, Larry Bird autograph. Unfortunately, the greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James, isn't in here, but that's a whole other conversation for another day.
The actual greatest basketball player of all time is in here, and his name's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And they're 1, 2, and I think Jordan's like 7 or 10, somewhere in there.
Kareem didn't have the benefit of ESPN as a mouthpiece.
That is very true, very true. So I've accumulated 16 of these.
I'm going to move the microphone out of the way.
Yeah, right.
Notice a disturbance in the audio
Yeah,
that's why.
all right. So,
the great Ralph Sampson.
Yep, we actually, if you recall, I opened this one on the air. That was a mail day.
That's right.
Yeah, so what we got going on here, and this is something we've talked about a lot off air, and it's just so disappointing watching people, especially young kids. Hey, look, regardless of who you are, money's tight.
Yeah.
Everyone's had to make adjustments somewhere, and this stuff just keeps going up, the price of wax and whatnot. And for me, it's disappointing seeing young kids getting excited. They're saving up their allowances, they're selling off stuff, whatever, and they'll save up $225 and buy a wax pack of this, and they'll film themselves and they'll try to get it on YouTube, and they want that awesome video with all the bells and whistles. And personally, I think some of these people get tipped off, and but that's a whole other thing. I can't prove it, but whatever. So for the price of one pack, I've put together a tenth of the set.
Yeah, right
and this
here.
is a legendary set.
This is this is the set.
Yeah, this and the 52 tops baseball.
This is as big as it gets. The reason I'm putting these two together is, guys, if you're bored on YouTube, type in Jerry Sheestings and Ralph Sampson. Ralph Sampson knocks him out cold during a basketball game in the playoffs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And one of the Sports Illustrated from that time has one of the fans holding a sign that says, "Hey, Ralph, pick on someone your own size," because Sheestings was like 5'11".
I was just say he's like my size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting, just some little bit of information. Went to the University of Duquesne.
Oh, wow.
And he is from the southwestern Pennsylvania area.
Yeah.
Maurice Lucas
Let's see what it says on the back there.
I want to say he was Duquesne as well, but I'm probably wrong on that. But the fact you got two local guys on there.
Marquette.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think. But he has I think he grew up in Pittsburgh area.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I know he's got ties to the area. But like I said, you know what? And for the record, most of these names, with a few exceptions like Sampson and Lucas, like these aren't big names. But when you're going to drop $225, you're pulling one of these before you're pulling the Isaiah Thomas, the Patrick Ewing, and whatnot.
Right.
And some of these I picked off as low as $8.
The thing I like is they went with Beckett instead of Mears, I believe was the old Jersey Fusion. And what you're getting is instead of having the card be ruined, Beckett puts them in the top in the corner, the patches. So they're a part of the plastic as opposed to the card. Tell them a little bit about it. I'm going to go grab one of the older ones.
Yeah. So I really like what they did with these Jersey Fusions, and I hope that this is the route they keep going, because I love this concept that they put together, especially with this set. And they were, I do believe if you put the whole set together, the first one to put the set together, they're offering. You could trade it in for the Michael Jordan game-used jersey, which I don't know if anyone's claimed that yet or not. But
not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm over here.
No, you're good. You're good.
Trying to grab
some of these. I know, like with one of the Lakers, like they put. I think it might be Bill Walton actually, not Laker, but instead of a jersey, they have a piece of UCLA's floor.
Here is the old-fashioned way, the 2 years ago variety. What they did, no one can really tell unless you crack these open, but it sure appears that it's glued to the card. So the card becomes ruined. The Jersey Fusions were actually started by the Mears Sports Card Company a long time ago. This is a Derek Jeter patch from his minor league uniform.
Oh, wow.
So this concept's been around for a while, and I really think the way that Beckett has these cards set up is good. I've had cards like this that were graded with patches going back to about 2005.
So, like we talked about, we were originally just going to buy a pack or maybe a case of them and bust it on the show. But just watching a lot of the ones that I feel are honest on YouTube that bust that stuff open, I saw way too many. I saw people lose it. Well, let's just do the math here. So, a case of those was $1,100. And I put 15 of these together for under $240. Some of these I got as cheap as $8. So we could have lost over $1,000 just trying to look cool on YouTube.
One that's worth having.
You're right, and it's just not worth it.
And if you're not a hardcore fan, and you just want to take a shot on something like this, and you end up with, and this is no offense to these guys, like Dan Brownfield.
Yeah.
Dan Roundfield played a couple years in the NBA, just happened to be a part of this set. would you really pay $220 and feel good that you got a Dan Roundfield? You have to go into these kind of things with this mindset that if I lose big, I'm not going to be destroyed over it.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is, on my end, I know Victor sells a lot of these mystery packs up here, and I see kids come in here, buy them, and they leave with a smile on their face, and mom and dad aren't leaving broke.
Yeah.
So take that into consideration. Stop chasing the one-of-one Trout and Ohtani, because in my opinion, most of them, I just a hunch, they're not coming in a wax pack around here. They're just not. That's just my opinion. Nothing I can prove, just my hunches.
Well, there was a dangerous slide that happened in Game 2 that if that shoulder popped out of place and surgery was required, that one-of-one Ohtani's not worth what it would have been.
Well, then that's
that slide was close to the Polanco disaster. Wasn't even close to the Polanco disaster, but the outcome could have been the same.
It changes that quick. On the drop of a dime, these guys go from being worth whatever to where, even speaking of World Series, back in the, '96, Andrew Jones popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And his stuff went through the roof, and then reality set back in.
I'm one of the ones who fell for the Jeremy Pena thing when he won it as a 19-year-old, the World Series MVP. Guy couldn't miss. I mean, he hit everything. Where are his cards right now?
Dontrelle Willis.
Carlos Beltran.
There's a good one, too.
Beltran was unbelievable when he was with Kansas City that short period. I mean, he has an outside shot at the Hall of Fame, but his cards you're not going to get any money out of his cards.
But
that's part of the problem.
To round this segment up, to show off and get back to what we got here, this is why, like I said, seriously, calm down. Don't be blowing, just stop chasing that one-of-one and whatnot. Just my opinion. Because you're going to have, for every one-of-one Ohtani, there's a million of this.
Yeah, there is.
Anything you want to add before we close that up?
Just the last point I'd like to make is so many of these are in the 7 range. Yeah. As the company, why would you put a 7 in there?
Well,
that's...
I'll try to answer for some of that. This was a hard, and this set has been counterfeited a lot.
Okay.
So there's that
to find the originals.
Yeah, I think 125 sets that I think they bought and busted into this concept. So that means there is 125 Jordans out there. Yes, at least. Some of these guys, there might be more of like Lewis.
That's how they get you. There's 125 Jordans out there.
All right,
which, if you hit one of those, you got a house.
Yeah, right. And if you don't,
you got something.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Paperweights.
Daddy, we don't say words like that. Just let your love flow like a mountain. Good example. Pass them on. With the smallest of dreams and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Stellar Show here on Fayette County TV Channel 77, Q Call and Breeze Line with myself, Ken Philbaum, the Duke, and Stellar's Collectible Shop and Uniontown Mall owner Victor Malik. All in one breath, and I got it right that time.
That's back to back.
I know, right? I'm back.
That shot's wearing off.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll tell you what's not wearing off, and it's getting even hotter than my streak here, is Hillbilly's Got Talent up at the old Rowdy Buck in Donegal, PA. Get up there Thursdays at 7. That's not just singing talent, so check it out and register, because it looks like a good time. You'll see us up there at some point, whether participating or taking notes.
Probably participating the way things are looking.
Yeah, right?
We've got some talents.
Yeah, I haven't figured them out yet, but...
Speaking of talents, you want to go into this pick section?
Absolutely. I'm going to get some help from Joe Boo. And you know what? We're going to get
something I could say, but I don't know if it's cuss words.
We're going to get some help from these,
Oh, my goodness. He's breaking out these 4-leaf clovers.
Some of them. This is just one of them. Hey, I need all the help I can get. I'm tapping into my Zen.
I was talking to the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham and Howell, the accounting group, and they pointed out that I did pick the Browns last week to beat the Ravens outright. I believe.
I'll take you know what? I had Derrick Henry in fantasy football for that. So whatever happens between the Browns and Ravens, I'll take your word on.
Well, the spot was just ridiculous. It was like 11.5. Speaking of that, how'd you do in fantasy real quick?
Oh, you know what? Where we're at right now, I did good in the one game. I won by 50. And then the other one, I need 12 points out of the Steelers defense and Pat Freiermuth against the Giants on Monday night.
Okay.
Gives you an idea of when we're filming this.
Duke's trying to come over back to what was left of the wreckage of the Polish intelligence group.
Yeah, right.
Because since Duke took over, I haven't lost a game.
Oh, there you go.
So, pause. So Duke's doing a hell of a job taking over for me in my retirement.
We might need
self-imposed seclusion.
We might need Duke to make these picks.
Let's get into this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the number one team in the country, Oregon, traveling to the Big House in Michigan. Oregon's given Michigan on the road 4 points, 44.5 the over/under.
I like Michigan. I'm not buying Oregon.
Buying Oregon?
I'm not buying Oregon. Honestly, I'm not even buying them as number one. I think Georgia should be one, Penn State two. Just my opinion.
How do you rationalize Georgia over Oregon?
I just do. I'm just not impressed with Oregon.
It's an eye test type thing?
It's an eye test for me.
Okay.
I thought Ohio State should have beat them. That's just my opinion. But from what I saw in that game, I thought Ohio State was the better team despite the outcome. I mean, Oregon got the stat that matters, the W.
You're doing every karmic thing you can to get Penn State through this weekend, I appreciate it.
What I'm looking at is, I think if Ohio State plays Oregon 10 times, they beat them 9. So that's just where I'm at.
So you're taking Michigan plus the 4, over/under in that game is 44.5.
I'll take over and Michigan.
I'm going with Oregon to blow them off the face of the earth and probably score 60 against them. I think Michigan's a program that's falling apart right now. Harbaugh was the program. Going on to the number 2 team in the country, per Ken and the AP, Georgia, 6-1 in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. The Bulldogs go down to Florida to play the Gators. Georgia's 6-1. Florida's 4-3 and unranked. 16.5.
Had the bus ready at halftime.
Big one.
Yeah.
Big one.
I think Georgia could cover the over.
Wow. I kind of have to agree with you on that one. That's sad, but yeah, Georgia should blow Florida away. 52.5, I like the over in that game. Now we're coming to the big one, the one that matters the most. Number 3, Penn State.
That's right, we are.
Hosting Penn State. Hosting Ohio State.
Look, here's my ticket for it, and look who's on the ticket stub.
Heisman Trophy finalist, guaranteed.
If not the winner.
Yes.
We'll get a picture of that in there without the barcode so no one tries to jack it.
3-4 battle in Happy Valley, and sadly, and
you're first on this one.
I just have to say that Fox Sports,
yes,
Big
you're ruining
Ten,
this.
You stink.
You're
the worst.
You really are.
I can't stand. Oh my god. A 12 o'clock game.
This should have been the whiteout. This should have been in prime time, and everyone that
I don't even want to know what game's at 7 o'clock.
I don't care either.
I'm not watching it. It's a viewing boycott.
Hopefully I'm eating some good ice cream and celebrating a win before I go to a comedy show.
You know to bring it back.
Yes, sir.
So
you're first.
I'm definitely taking the 4. I'm going with the outright win. I think Penn State, after watching Ohio State play last weekend, their offensive line is garbage. Penn State's defensive line is deep. I don't see Ohio State moving the ball very much against Penn State. If Franklin can avoid himself, and as I said earlier, I think Penn State's offense is one of the trickier offenses that's just going to get better each week.
Because they got all the weapons.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah. So
I'm going with an under in Penn State. But I'm taking Penn State on the money line for giving the 4.
I'm going under, and I say Penn State beats them by 6.
I love to hear it. So, now, in a game that doesn't matter, but just because the Steelers are on a bye this week, we're going to throw Pitt and SMU in there. Pitt, the 18th ranked team in the country, is traveling to Southern Methodist, playing number 20 Southern Methodist. SMU's given Pitt 7 and 59.5.
So, because I made a lot of good friends with some Mustangs over the weekend, which we'll touch on next week from the junior football playoffs that we both attended and had a good time at. I will take SMU to win by a field goal.
By
I don't know
field goal.
what was the over on, or what was the spread?
7.
7? Okay, I think SMU is going to beat them, but they're only going to beat them by 3.
I'm at this point rooting for something bizarre to happen, and that's Penn State and Pitt to run the table and play in either the first or the second round of the playoffs.
Let's hope it's at Penn State where,
it would have to be at Penn State.
Well, that and because you'll have people actually show up.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I'm going to take Pitt and the under in that game. So let's move on to the NFL. We're looking at the first game.
I want to toss something in there real quick with this. This is the first time this year I picked Pitt to lose. Just putting that out there.
I just want to see them play in the playoffs.
Okay.
That would be so wonderful. So I'm not saying anything other than the rooting interest. On to the NFL, the Oakland Raiders. I'm going with that theme all day because of the way.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Oakland Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals. Raiders are going to the Bengals 7.5.
Boy, what happened to Minshew? Yeah, I'll take the Bengals and the over.
I'm going to take the Raiders in this game because I don't think Cincy wants to play anymore. I don't see it.
You got a diva that wants paid, and it's affecting the locker room.
Yeah, Cincy's folding. I'm taking the Raiders plus the 7.5, and again, I'm a big fan of under in a lot of these games. Next game up. The surprising Cleveland Browns are now 2-6. They're getting 2 points at home against the Chargers, who are 4-3. 40.5 is the over.
I'm going to tell you why I like the Browns, and it's probably being overlooked. You got a hungry Jameis Winston that wants paid.
Yes.
So and he sees this is his last chance to prove something to everybody, and he's doing just that. The Browns are going to be a dangerous team the rest of the season because you got to inspire Jameis Winston. I'll take the Browns and the over.
I'm going Browns and under, and I agree with everything you just said. Probably the surprise team in the NFL right now are the Denver Broncos, who are coming to Baltimore to play the Ravens. 9 points. Both teams are 5-3, and 44 is the over in that game.
I like the over, and I like the Broncos.
I'm with you on that. I'll take the 9 points all day, but I'm going under in that game. Broncos defense is right now the best in the NFL.
Is that Rock and Rob that just went by? We should have brought him in to be Rube.
Yeah, it would have worked. My foot.
All right, man. I don't know.
So we got one more thing to cover before we close this out. The World Series.
Whatever. I tune out once the Pirates are out. So
that was June.
Hey, August.
On to Rise Wrestling.
You left me hanging. What are you doing?